Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today I'm at my local Electrify America station and something has changed. That's right, Electrify America has replaced the dispensers. Let's get into it. All right everyone, so I'm here at my local Electrify America station and I've had really a lot of issues at this site for many years. 2 or 3 years, and they finally updated it. They've been going through all the older stations, updating them to their next gen hardware, which is what they've been saying. And from what I can tell, it seems like everything is working well and people are able to get a charge, and that is a welcome change. So what I want to do real quick is kind of show you all the site, and then I'll give my reflections about this update and also the fact that they're finally kind of starting to not only replace old chargers, but start to densify by putting chargers in places, especially in Maryland, and also I'll talk about Pennsylvania a little bit, that desperately needed EV charging. All right, everyone, so here's the site, the new units that they've been putting around everywhere. They're calling their next gen hardware, and these are the BTC units. These are actually a newer label than I'm seen before, a little bit different, and I think also in a different place, but yeah, it's the BTC power and it seems to be working. They did over there replace the power cabinets, and all of these are balanced, and honestly for this site it's a great choice. Here it's a bunch of BMWs and Mercedes charging, and then our Volkswagen, and it seems everything's working really well. The only negative I see with this site is down in the end, that unit right there used to have a CHAdeMO, and now there's no CHAdeMO. And I know there were a lot of Leaf owners that would frequent this charging stop, and now they're not going to be able to. Hopefully they were able to find units somewhere else that they could charge on, or maybe even purchase an adapter so that they could use these units. So that is the one negative, but I'm finally excited to have these units replaced. So hopefully I have no issues charging, and the throughput is, in a pretty good place. All right, everyone. So I'm going to give my thoughts here about the fact that this site is updated, and the fact that Electrify America over the last year or two has been updating sites, which is good, obviously. But also the fact that it looks like, to me, when I look at the Electrify America app, they're starting to do some densification. So first, let's dig into this site. This is a community where there's a growing number of electric vehicles. There's a lot of Tesla owners, but there is a Tesla site for them to use. But there are people who have a bunch of other different EVs, and they relied upon this charging site specifically. And often chargers would be down, or they would be severely derated. And I'm not talking about like temporarily and they come fix them. Like, they were derated for years, and I would come back and the same charger would have the same issue, for every time I went there, which wasn't good. I reached out to Electrify America multiple times. They never really took me seriously, and they didn't really fix the hardware, which was unfortunate. And what that did was it led to queues. So I would come here because I would go to Costco, and then I would come here to maybe top up a little bit, get a little bit of charge, and there would be like a 3 to 4 car queue every time. And just to be a little bit telling, I'm approximately about the same time I'd be here, and there's no queue, and in fact there is one charger available now. So when the hardware works the way it's supposed to, and when, especially now that a lot of cars are faster charging, there can be more throughput. The cars will charge faster, people can get in, get a charge, and there won't be queues. So that's why it's really important for them to have working dispensers and charging cabinets. I do want to say, I think for this site, just because based on the utilization, maybe they could have added a couple more dispensers, but it really seems like with this program they've been doing to kind of rip and replace old units, they've just been leaving the same number and turning them to be balanced so that people can access higher level charging speeds, but without having to bring in additional demand from the grid. That's fine, that's their choice. There's nothing that wrong with it. I do, because I don't know, I guess I get bored, but I'll check the Electrify America app every once in a while, and I haven't really seen many full, CSA full for a very long time without turning back over to having something available. So that's good, at least for this site and for my needs and for the community, the community's needs. All right, so that's great, really awesome. And then I have been, looking on the Electrify America app, and I've been noticing a lot of, pinned areas for chargers coming soon in Maryland, which is super exciting because for some reason Maryland, which is really passed over, especially in a lot of areas, like around the Howard County area in Columbia, there was some Electrify America, and then there was this one Electrify America in Owings Mills, and then they had one over in Abingdon, like on 95, and then they had kind of recent, maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, they added one down, in southern Baltimore City. And so it had been kind of neglected, and now there's all these pips popping up all over the town. Electrify America has this partnership with Royal Farms, which I think is an appropriate partnership. They had been at Walmart, and pre-pandemic, Walmart was great because they were open 24/7. After pandemic, Walmart kind of went to not being open 24/7. So then people were left going, and you've probably seen a lot of my road trips. I'm going to Walmarts late at night that are closed. I've got nowhere to go to the bathroom, can't get anything to eat. And if something dangerous were to happen, or if I was in an unsafe situation, I wouldn't be able to get help, which wasn't really great. So now, and I do want to add too with Walmart, I'm sure since Walmart's starting their own charging network, they're going to start, once the leases run out with Electrify America, they're going to remove the Electrify America hardware, put in their own, and Electrify America is going to start to, need to get new sites in those similar areas. So I'm sure we're going to start to see a little bit more of a build out too from Electrify America to make up for when they lose that property. And I don't know how the legals work for every site, but I'm sure that the lease will run out eventually. So anyways, I don't have a mouse. I have to hold the camera. Crazy. But anyways, Royal Farms is a really great partnership because it's open 24/7, has food. It's secure. They're always well lit. And it's a place that people want to go. And additionally, with the speeds at which a lot of cars can charge now, go into a gas station, stopping for 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, getting a snack, go in the bathroom. That kind of lines up. Whereas like with a Walmart, you're going, and some people's cars might be done in 20 minutes, but you could be in Walmart for 30 minutes or longer. So I definitely think it's a better match and fit for them. And I'm sure that Electrify America has seen how Ayana has tackled things, and they're making partnerships with Wawa and Sheetz, which are, in my opinion, appropriate places to have DC fast charging. Now, I think you could have DC fast charging everywhere, but for a place like a Target, where the dwell time is going to be 30 minutes to an hour, you don't have to have as fast of charging, because people personally, like I want to plug in and I want to be able to go do what I need to do and come out and then leave, not have to go in. My charging ends, I have to come out, I have to unplug so I don't get an idle fee and then go back in. That's not great. So, the speeds kind of need to fit the dwell time. So I think for gas station, fast charging, really good. Great job, Electrify America. And thanks for bringing more charging to Maryland. Additionally, Pennsylvania has been a massive charging desert, at least for me. Like there's places I want to go in Pennsylvania, but like, it was inconvenient at times because there was nowhere to charge. So that's why the Tesla supercharger network opening up was actually a really big deal for me and for my needs, because we go into Pennsylvania often. We live pretty close to the border. And now there's all these Electrify America sites popping up in great spots. There's one in York, Pennsylvania now, which is really convenient if we want to go to Hershey or something like that. There's now Harrisburg. They're just popping up everywhere. Carlisle, but that one's been around for a while. But it's just a big deal, and it seems like Electrify America is finally starting to have a little bit better of a plan of attack and putting chargers where they'll get used, have good utilization and good throughput. So I think Electrify America is finally getting it. I've been extremely hard on them, and I'll be extremely hard on any network if they're kind of not doing their job. I think that's my job. And any other, EV advocate's job, because like if gas stations weren't working, we wouldn't be like, well, it's okay. No, like they gotta work. You gotta go, they gotta work. There's gotta be enough enough dispensers for people to charge. And if they're broken, it's fine. Fix them as fast as possible, not leave them lingering broken for years. So hopefully We're turning a new page here, Electrify America. Certainly, I know they're probably feeling the heat from the Tesla Supercharger Network and IANA and BP Pulse and Travel, well, that's just Travel Centers of America, and Pilot Flying J and Loves and all these other places now that are starting to put in charging. Now they realize they got to get their act together, and for the most part, it seems like they are. Now, is every site perfect? Are there going to be issues? Yes, there's issues at all sorts of charging sites. I've been to Tesla sites that have issues. I've been the one in North Carolina. I can't think of the name off the top, but it's one that's almost in Virginia, the really big one. I would go there and the charging would drop to 35 kilowatts with some kind of cooling issue or some kind of some kind of communication issue. But yeah, I've had issues at Tesla too. So it's not just Electrify America that had issues. Hopefully they're moving forward, and I'm looking forward to this new era of Electrify America and honestly of DC fast charging in the United States. All right, everybody, so that's all I have today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please remember to give a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you all next time.